Okay, hello YouTube. We're going to be making one of these. So it's a replacement or an alternative to the walking pole for the Lanshan 2. I've not actually got my Lanshan 2 yet. I ordered it about a week ago and it should come fairly soon. Quite excited about that. But I don't use walking poles, so I thought I'd make one of these instead. I looked at I think the Z-Packs do like a carbon fibre version. It was about $45, and there was another version online, I think in the UK, you could get them through eBay for about £25 each. But being a Scotsman, that's far too expensive for me. So I thought I'll try and make my own. Now you can buy one of these packs. I'll put all the stuff in the description below. But you can buy packs of these replacement tent poles for, I think it was £7 to get, and you get plenty. There's plenty of length in that. I can't remember. Like I said, I'll put the link below. I weighed this and it came in at, where's my notes? That one of them came in at 129 grams, and it's got a total length of 145 centimeters. The feet I've put on it, I'm not sure if these will work or not. I don't know if there's anybody that could give me some advice, but the feet I've put on them they're 20 millimeters wide. I think they're maybe a little bit too small, and I don't know if the tent will strain on that. So what I might do is I might get half a tennis ball or something and just just place it on there before I put it in the tent, if that's a problem. Yeah, anyway, let's have a look and see how we put them together. Okay, so I'm going to start by cutting these poles down to length. They come, I don't know how long they are actually when they come in the bag. I'll see on the description, 60 centimeters. So they're just shy of 2 feet long. But we're going to cut them down to 43 centimeters. So pop them in the vise. I'm using a bit of cloth in the vise just to make sure it's not crushing the poles, causing any damage. So mark it 43 centimeters. Try to do this in front of the camera, it's never easy. 43. You'll not be able to see that on the thing, but you get the idea. So there we go. Get that into there, nice and secure. Using a hacksaw for the fine teeth and not putting too much pressure. Try and support the end that's coming off. Stop a wee bit of splintering. Nice and steady. There we go. Just like that. Take out there. A wee bit of sandpaper just to take the edge off. Right, magic. I'm going to do the other two and I'll get back to you. Okay, for the last pole, I'm going to measure from the blank end, because I don't need this coupling. You'll see when we put it back together. But yeah, so it's still a cut of 43 centimeters. So get that measured up. 43 centimeters, right there. I had a wee practice earlier on, made the other one just in case it was all going wrong. Got all the pressure on with the camera now, it's a bit weird. Right, okay, and again we're just cutting that with the hacksaw. Actually, you know what? Double check that because it was blethering. 43, yep. 43. I think there's an extra pole. If you do it this way in the set, you should have a spare. So if you do actually cut something a bit wrong or whatever, you've got a spare to fall back onto. And there we go, that's that one done. Sand that, clean it up a wee bit. Magic. Right, I'll give him a wee bit more TLC and I'll come back to you and we can start putting it together. Okay, so one of the problems I ran into when I was making the first one was that I can't remember what you call this stuff, the elastic that goes through the middle. I was trying to like bring it up around the end when I put the feet on and pinch it, but when I was pinching it and screwing the foot on, if you like, it was causing problems, and it was causing the elastic to break. so it wasn't a very good. So I had to think of a solution. So I came up with, oh, sorry about that. I came up with this idea of putting another hole in it. I'll show you more clearly when I'm doing it, but there's a little hole in the side that goes in the middle, and I brought the elastic out there, and I've wrapped it around and tied it off there. I guess you could tidy it up with a bit of tape or something. I'm not too bothered, but yeah, it just means that I can now I can replace the elastic without having to take the end cap off, which I've glued as well because I'm belt and braces with that. Right, so I'll be back in a second to show you how I did the holes. Okay, so we're going to pop the wee hole in the side that I was just explaining about there. Starting off with basically the smallest kind of guide that you can put in. It just makes life a bit easier, but. And I'm doing it on the pole with no couplings first. I'll show you that actually. So I'm doing it on this end first. The one with no couplings on either end, that one. And I noticed that I was using a black cloth in my vise before, and you couldn't really see what was going on, so I've changed it to a white towel. Don't tell my missus, she'll go raging. Right, so before we do that, I'm also leaving a bit of space here. I'm not putting it right up here because when I put the foot on, the foot goes on a wee bit. You know what I mean? So just pushing it back down a wee bit, just down about here. Just give myself a wee start with the point. It should be fine. And then I've got this guy here. And I'm putting a wee angle on it. It's just to help kind of. Like that. Not going right through, remember, you're only going through to the hole in the middle. There's a hole there, you can see that. It's not very. So, and I'm going at an angle like that. Alright, so when I'm threading the elastic up through here, I've got a better chance again. I'll show you how I did that as well. That was a bit tricky, but we'll get that. And then the other one I'm going to put in, so I'll do the rest in a second, but I've got, yeah, so the other pole I'm going to do is in this end, kind of the non-coupling end of one of the other two poles. You only need to do obviously 2 holes, you know, for the extreme ends of the full thing. Right, let's cut that. Get that done again. You have to make the hole. I go in 3 stages. You could probably do it in 2, but I'm just being careful. I don't want to split the thing, so like that. Like that. All right, and then the last one. Do this. There we go. So that's it there. I'll just pop that in so you can see what I'm doing. It goes in at that angle there. Alright, I ken the picture's not very good, but I'm trying to do it with my phone and I've got it rigged up on one of those Gorilla Grip things, so I can't really get it when I need it. Right, I'll go and I'll get the other one over and I'll do that and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so we're about to put the elastic through the middle, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the end, just make sure the end's good. This one's quite good. If it's not good, then snip it. Sorry, I didn't shut the camera. If the end's not good, then cut it somewhere where, you know, just don't waste too much, but cut it and then burn it, and then, you know, wet your fingers and just dab it to kind of shape it a wee bit, and it makes it a lot easier in the next stage. So we're going to go through. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put a wee knot in the other end. Just like that. It doesn't have to be too tight, just to stop it running on through. So we knot on the other end, see it there? Okay. Go back to our working end. I'm going to start with this bit of pole. It doesn't really matter which end you start, but we're going to feed it in through that hole we made. So I find that if you just gently twist it while you're putting it through, it helps it run. I'm going to filter it through. Keep going. If it snags up, you can twist it. There's a tool that comes with it actually, that comes with the repair kit, the tent pole repair kit, and it's got like a wee hook on the end. Watch your fingers, because I cut my finger on it. It's just daft, eh? The wee hook's proper sharp. Right, that's coming at the other end, so that's brilliant. So we'll pull that. If you're worried about that disappearing at this end, where's it gone? A wee snagged bit there. There we go. If you're worried about it disappearing at this end, you can just tie your knot in it now. Like I said, what I did was I went round the pole, so I went round round and under like that, and then pull on the other end. Make a wee, you can, it's up to you, you know, you could probably just get away with just leaving a knot in it and just letting it sit against the thing, but I think that's pretty, you see that alright? It's pretty secure. I'll tighten it up after. Right, so that's the first one on. And then we're taking this pole with the other coupling. Okay, and obviously we want to thread through our working end, through the end that doesn't have the silver coupling on it. So we'll see that in a second. So again, if you get snagging, then just a wee twist and it should keep running. Nearly there. Brilliant. And then that's come through there. Grab a hold of that. And pull it. Now I wouldn't build it just now. You could fold that end over to make it, you know, so you're fine. And then lastly, this is the bit that gets a bit fun. We want it to come out of here, right? So what we're going to do, this is going to be great fun with the camera in front of me, but feed it in here and go right down, go right through until it comes out the other end. Keep going. There we are. Now it's showing now. Right, let's get this stuff out of the way. Right. So what I used is that, you know, the tool I used for kind of putting a wee kind of before my pilot hole, you know, I've got that, and I just stick that down until it's really difficult to show you on this camera. I stick that down until it's just showing, right? And then I'm going to use that to encourage the elastic up through the hole. That's it there. There we go. Come on. Just about got it. I don't know if I'll be able to do this on camera. I might have to go and swear it a bit. There we go. Maybe get away with that. You wee devil, I just jumped back in. Right, leave it with me. I'll get that threaded through and I'll come back to you. But yeah, it's a bit of fun. See you in a minute. Right, success. We've got it through. There we are. That was a bit of a faff, but we got there in the end. All right. So again, just you just want to put a wee knot in that before you do anything else, in case you're pulling it by accident and it'll not run away and run through it back through. Right. Okay. Back in a second. We'll put the feet on. We're going to glue them. So these feet, I don't know if you can see that. They're kind of shaped. They've got a wee bit of a cone shape to them. I think I said before, they're 20mm across. I'll put the link down below that I bought them. They're a couple of quid, and you get that's about 12 in a pack or something. So there's loads of them. They fit nicely on the end. They fit really nicely on the end, and I think you could probably just glue them. But I'm going to put I've got these short screws. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. It was just stuff I had lying about in the garage, so I don't know what dimension these are. I'm not really sure, but they fit the end of the pole nicely. And yeah, anyway, I'll come back on that in a second. Right, okay, so let's pop these on. So get the glue out. Going to glue inside this cup here. Like, that's a bit messy this time. Like that. And I'm going to press that on there. There we go. That way. Get my screw. This is just a wee screw like that. So I found these in my toolbox. I don't know what dimensions they are. I don't know, about 15mm or something like that. But they're just wide enough to get a bite on the inside of the pole, which is good. You know, when I couldn't find them, I had to go. I had longer screws, and what I did is I just put them in the vise and took the end off. It doesn't, because you don't need the point in the end. You know what I mean? It's not the point. It's actually because there's a hole through the pole. You don't need that. So yeah, I just just to try it, I nipped the end off of another screw, and they worked fine as well. So if you don't have little short things like this, if you've got something lying about you can use them, that's good. But pop that in there, and then just tighten up. I don't think using long screws is a good idea because I think it'll put too much strain on the pole and it could split. So that's that. Right, I'll be back in a minute. We'll tension the elastic, and then that's us done. Right, here we are back again. This is us getting the tension. So what to do is make sure you've got everything in its housing properly like that, so your pole is put together properly in both places. All right, and you're securely tied at one end. This end here is nice and secure. There's not going to come out. And then I go back to the top, my working end if you like. Oops, hang on a minute. Here we go. And I'm going to pull that and tension this elastic. When you're kind of happy with it, just wrap it around a couple of times just to secure it. And then take your pole apart and just see if you're happy with it. I'm fairly happy with that. Put it back together. There we are, snap, snap. So, now that's done. Maybe just give it a wee bit for luck. It's a bit too much of it, too long working in, so get your scissors. Whoops, sorry about that. Chop that off. Take it round the pole. Let's do that. So I'm tying a knot kind of around the pole if you like, so you can see that. It's a bit difficult with the darkness, but kind of tie the pole, and then I'm going to put a knot in this end. It's awfully fiddly. Like that. And as far as I can tell, I mean, that knot will not fit down through that hole. So that's your gauge. You know, if you're right next to the hole, and you can see that your knot's kind of area is bigger than the hole that's the lines come up through, then you're onto a winner there. So do that end, and then I'm going to retie the other end. Like so. Better not let go of this now, it'd be right. Terrible. Put a knot on this end. I'm going to retie that actually. Painful to watch a bit. There we go. And again, let's put a knot in this end. Now the great thing about the hole being on the side is that you can, like I said before, you don't have to remove the feet to replace the. It's actually quite small. Put a second knot in there. That's better. Right, okay, so I'm happy with that. And then nip the end off, and then what we're going to do is just leave. When you nip the end off, see that it's really difficult to see. That's right there. You can make sure you leave just a little bit of meat on there, just because if you nip it off too much, you know, if you go, because it's elastic, it could just undo the knot. It's a bit of a pain after all your hard work. I can't find my lighter, so we'll use a match and just free the ends. It's not too bad. Do the other end before the match. Oh. Not here. Oh, tragic waste of a match there. That's blown the budget right out of the water. And then, here we go again. Dab your fingers. There we go. And that's it. How's that? Not too bad, eh? So I think it was £7 for the pole packet, and it was £2 or £3 for the feet. The link will be in the description for all these things. I'll go and get the scales, we'll pop them on the scales, and then yeah, that's it done. Right, back in a second. Okay, sorry about the dodgy camera angle. I've got not a very good stand set up. So anyway, let's weigh these. This is both the poles together, and we are 257 grams. So that's not too bad. For kind of £10, I think it was cost. That is. So yeah, again, I'm not sure if they work. We'll find out, I suppose, in time. Wait for my tent to arrive. But yeah, I hope that was of use to somebody. And if you've got any questions about anything I've done, or you know, if any suggestions on how to improve the system, I'd love to hear them. So pop them in the comments below. Thanks for your time. All the best. Bye.